Welcome back to the Pulitzer Podcast, brought to you by the Grit Network. I am your host, Paris Brown, and this week finally got the full crew back. We got Tyler back, we got Dylan in here. How's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Playoff basketball, nothing better than that.
How's
Congratulations to our rookie stud, rookie of the year.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get into that. How you feeling, Dylan? Obviously, the Celtics doing what Celtics do.
Oh yeah, Sixers gave us a brief scare, where the Celtics just shot terribly and they're playing like they're like, when they go back to their old habits and then, they turn around and get two quick wins and yeah, I mean, we're up 3-1 the series, so I can't complain.
Man,
What
Celtics.
about Peyton Pritchard? Holy crap, dude. That
Oh,
dude
we'll
was,
get
ooh, man.
we'll,
Watching him play is fun because you got to have, we all know, it's not anything out there in the dark. Like, you have to represent for the white guys, making sure that you can play basketball. And that dude, absolutely, man, his sauce, his game, it's so fun to watch and to see it. It's no surprise to his teammates, but it's still, man, so fun to watch.
he uh he had it out for Reggie Miller. I can't wait to talk about that later on in
Oh
the show.
God. The Celtics just don't know how to win game twos. They just don't care for game two.
I mean, it's like they like to win game five in their own place, because they're usually
I
the
guess.
home team to start. So, game five is their lucky game.
I got you. All right, and we'll get into all the games, but first I do want to mention, we mentioned the Celtics. Got to mention Tyler's guy, Cooper Flag, Rookie of the Year. Just when they were somewhat thinking like, oh, maybe it'll go to Conquanuple, Cooper Flag won it. Honestly, I feel like rightly so. I feel like to me, if I can't say it's a no doubt because Con had a great year, but Cooper just by far was better, if you ask me.
Yeah, it did get close. I was sweating it for a minute. Khan put on quite close to the year, and the way Khan Canupo scores the basketball from three and scores the basketball in general is awesome. But I think what you saw from Cooper Flag was from both facets and all three types of the floor. The game. He's able to do it all. He averaged 21 points as a rookie. He had an injury which almost derailed him. But what he was able to do now, Con Knoopel almost brought Charlotte to the play-in, and I kind of think if they would have won the play-in, he might have won. But he kind of choked those last two games. Would it have mattered? I don't know. Con Knoopel had a great, great season. I don't want to diminish it at all. He is an
Yeah,
absolute man, he's really good. And he's going to be good for that Charlotte team. It sucks to see what happened in those last two games, but shout out to Dallas Cooper Flag. Man, it's the second Maverick since Luka Doncic won it in 2018. Now we have Cooper Flag again. But what we want in Dallas, and everybody knows, is the Larry O'Brien. We don't want these little rookie of the year, blah, blah, blah. And it's good, and I'm not diminishing it, but we want bigger things. Shout out to Cooper Flag, and we'll get into Keldon Johnson because I do want to ask y'all: did I call Cooper Flag and Keldon Johnson as the sixth man of the year?
I
I
think
think
you
I
did.
did.
Uh,
I
I
think I
think
you
did. We need to
might
pull it.
have.
We need to pull the clips, but I think I
I'm
did.
pretty sure you did with Keldon Johnson. I'm not gonna lie.
I
But
mean,
the,
he's a solid. He's kind of Kellen Johnson's really good. I mean, the Spurs, as far as like a unit, I was surprised that Jaime Jaquez Jr. was the second guy. My personal Nas Reed was fourth
Yeah,
in the voting, and it wasn't even close. Like,
I can't
I
remember if I
think
might have had Jalen Duran, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see because
And then as far as the Cooper Flag Concanupple argument, I think for me, I felt like it was comfortable Cooper Flag. As if you go head to head stats, on the per game basis, Cooper Flag was in all five meaningful stats: points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. He led in all five. But the thing is that Knipple was definitely a sniper and a more of an efficient dude,
hmm
and he played way more games. So considering how the game conversation goes, Concanipple played almost every single game, 81 games,
yeah.
and the voters gave it to the 70-game Cooper Flag. So it's
it's those
very interesting that
it's
like we
those
have these
50-point games, man. That's what does it for me. Those 50-point games. You just
Yeah, and,
and
and
also Cooper Flag as
Conquanuple
far as
Go ahead.
Sorry, let me just do my point here. Cooper Flag, as far as being important to the Mavericks, he was way more important to the Mavericks on this team than Connor Knippel was to the Hornets. Like Connor Knippel is maybe the third, fourth scorer on his team, behind Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball. I'm missing someone that is also
Brandon
very
Miller,
important. Yeah, I said Brandon Miller, so yeah,
Brandon
maybe he's like the
Miller,
third.
LaMelo, and Kobe. I mean, you got
Oh,
Kobe
McCann and
White.
Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
Kobe White is more of a bench guy. But Miles Bridges, I would definitely put ahead of Con Knippel on that totem pole there. Cooper Flag is all they got on the Mavericks. And you missed this, Tyler, but when we were talking about Cooper Flag and his importance to the Mavericks, he led in points, rebounds, assists, and steals for his team. The first person to do that since Michael Jordan. And keep in mind, it wasn't a Michael Jordan rookie year he was doing that. So Cooper Flag is such a rare air where he was able to make such an impact on his team that I think it was very well deserved.
100%. Like I said, Concanupo was just the efficiency. That's what it was. He was way more efficient. It was a scoring, but I mean, when you're dropping 50-point, 40-point games, as any player, you're gonna get the recognition. But you're a rookie. Concanupo, what he had a 40-point game once in the season, I think against Cooper Flag. Because they both went back to back, but Cooper Flag still outscored him in that game, and then
Yeah.
Cooper Flag did it multiple times. So
And yeah. And Concanupal had 25 first place votes, very deserving of those.
100%.
And so, I mean, he was unanimously second. I think BJ Edgecombe only got one vote outside of that for top two. So it was dog to dog race, which we knew, we all knew that.
So you got him winning Rookie of the Year. As you mentioned, Kelton Johnson does win Sixth Man of the Year, which I am pretty sure Tyler called. We were talking. I know I was big on Hami, and you were big on Nas Reed. I think the problem comes down to most people don't know Nas Reed like that. People don't.
And they're
Don't know the
sleeping.
name
They're
Nas Reed.
sleeping on Nas Reed, man.
Man,
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know how you're sleeping on him. He's just, man, he's talk about sniper. Nas Reed's a sniper too, and he could play on both levels. It could have been a couple guys, and that most improved award too to seal Nikhil Alexander Walker win. I mean, he was in a race too with a couple others. So I mean, yeah, good to see some of these guys win.
And
Look,
Nikhil Alexander Walker was definitely deserving of that
Oh,
title
100%.
because going from 9 points a game to 20 point per game is
Yeah.
such a crazy thing to do when you're like on your second, third contract now. Like this isn't like a dude that's early on in his career coming into his prime. Like he's arguably in his physical prime now, his NBA prime, but like making the jump that he did when he was someone that wouldn't even be a starter at most teams, like wouldn't even be considered a starter. It's definitely an amazing story. So I'm definitely big shout out to Nikhil Alexander Walker.
I need to see Dyson Daniels make this jump. That's what I need to see. Because God, Dyson Daniels is what's holding that team back right now.
does he have it offensively to be able to do so? I don't even know if he's got the bag. I don't know if he's
I
got
mean,
it.
That's
he
why I
just has
need
to be a
the
league
jump.
average shooter. He can't even be he's like exceptionally bad. Like if he was a league average shooter, then yeah, Dyson Daniels would be net positive all the time, and the Hawks would probably be handily taken care. I mean, being up in the series like they are, you would consider they are taking care of them. But these are close games. Like the Hawks are mostly winning close games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've seen some shots Dyson Daniels missed that none, all three of us would make those bunny shots. Some of it. He does provide so much on the defensive end,
He's
but you're
great
going to have
defensively.
to get more from Atlanta than CJ McCollum. You're going to have to get more eventually. Now they're playing their great series. Love to see them play the Knicks that tight, but I think to get to 4 games to win that series, you're going to have to get more than what you're getting out of some of those guys offensively, like Nikhil Alexander Walker, and because Kaminga struggled a lot last game. Uh,
He looked good game three. Game three, yeah. Well, he dropped 20 some points. He looked
Yeah.
really good game three. And I mean, since we're talking about it, we can just jump right into that series. That series is tied 2-2 right now. Both teams have won one on the road. And we're going back to New York. If you're Atlanta, I feel like you're kind of in the spot you want to be in. Granted, they would have loved to win yesterday and be up 3-1 going back to New York. But you knew they were up 2-1 in Atlanta. That was probably going to be the best New York team they got because New York just want to go down 3-1. And New York played it. I mean, they outplayed them from start to finish that game. They were more physical than them, faster than them. Mikal Bridges acted like he was an actual NBA player again and started scoring again. Pat was acting like an actual NBA center and started driving to the paint again. It was the best, one of some of the best Knicks basketball I've seen. And the Hawks were staying in it. They were staying in as long as they could, but that's what you expect from the Knicks down 2-1. But I mean, being tied in this spot, this is a kind of best spot scenario for the Hawks being tied right now going into Game 5.
I don't know. If I were the Hawks, I'd be pretty mad I lost Game 4 because I think now that you go into like your last three games, the Knicks are hosting two of them. Like it was one of those things where going up 3-1 makes a world of a difference now because I mean no matter what they did the hard part of winning one away game in the first two because usually if you're the underdog you have to win at least one away game. Now you got to win a second away game, and keep in mind you're going to Madison Square Garden. And this
Yeah.
isn't a seasoned team by any means. Like CJ McCollum is arguably your most seasoned vet as far as the playoffs go. And he is showing that he can play at his own pace and he's not afraid of the Knicks. And I do think the Hawks have a lot that when they string together good moments, they look unstoppable. But the Knicks, they're very known to force other teams to make mistakes, and they're
Yeah.
very good at capitalizing those mistakes. So I think the Knicks have the upper hand right now going to this Game 5.
And Paris, I tend to agree with Dylan here because felt like the Hawks had their opportunity in Game 4. I felt like it was 2-1. All the momentum in the world was in Atlanta's favor, and you had a chance to put these New York Knicks down and out, and you couldn't do it. Now you go to Madison Square Garden Game 5, and if you lose that one, you basically lose the series. And so the Knicks have been here before. This Hawks team hasn't. Do they have some veteran talent? Absolutely. But they also have a lot of young guys that haven't been in the playoffs before. And, they've shown that they can win in Madison Square Garden. It's up to Jalen Johnson to
Yeah.
go into Game 5 and win that game for the Atlanta Hawks. Yeah, CJ McCollum, great addition. We love to see what he's doing, but when we traded Trey Young, or I mean, sorry, I will never say that again. Forgive me. The Hawks, when the Hawks traded for Trey Young for CJ McCollum, this is what you're getting in the playoffs, but this team is about Jalen Johnson, right? This team is about what can Jalen Johnson do, and maybe it's a future move, but we're here now, and it's 2-2. So we'll see what these Hawks got. Before the last game, I would have said Hawks, so much momentum, but I did watch every moment of the last game, and I felt like the Knicks just totally took back momentum to that series. I feel like they're going to win Game 5 and end up winning the series.
We
And
have
also,
yet.
sorry, one more thing. Paris, Mikal Bridges has not beaten allegations yet. 5 first-round picks for
Woo-hoo!
someone that put up 8 points in a win. I mean, granted, you win. He's a
Hey,
high
the
effort
game
dude that
before
could
that, he
give
only
you
put up
some,
2.
I mean, like it's just I mean, he's just lucky that again the Knicks are winning, but you're gonna see him be the scapegoat come this playoff run when the Knicks inevitably kick the bucket.
How much do you put this up though? Is that Mikal Bridges is getting guarded by Dyson Daniels though?
I
Because
mean,
I
because
he's a
Mikal,
clamper. He's a
yeah,
clamper.
yeah,
yeah,
But you got
and
to get more than a goose egg. You got to get something. You can't
and
have
not when
0
you're facing
points.
Dyson Daniels. It's not like he's
Well,
gonna put up points.
you got to get to the
I don't
line.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, Jalen Brunson should be the person that Dyson Daniels should be concerned about. Granted, Dyson Daniels is kind of like a forward guard kind of dude. Like, Nikhil Alexander Walker and him kind of go back and forth. And
Yeah,
I mean, all in all, I think the problem with the Hawks is that they need that reliable takeover guy. And I think
Yeah.
McCollum could do it sometimes. I think Jalen Johnson could do it sometimes. And sometimes it doesn't tend to be what you want to hear when your back is against the wall and it's do or die. Like you want to know this is the guy you're gonna friggin' lay your sword for and be like, all right. And Jalen Johnson can be that guy. But
and
in game 4 when he shot 4 for 12, he wasn't looking like that guy. And
No.
granted, it's still early in this thing, so maybe they could cobble more together, but I don't think it's looking too hot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get more out of Jalen Johnson. Like I say, he's their guy, and there's not enough offensive firepower besides him. And what you have to do to win a playoff series is, you got to have that dude. So he's gonna have to step up and be that dude.
we need another Game 3 performance from Jalen Johnson because that's what we got used to with him. and they're gonna need it to win the series. Game 3, he put up 24 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna need that going into New York because he's put up 23, 17, 24, 14. We need one big. They might need two because they obviously have to win two more, but definitely with one in New York tomorrow. I forget having to wait. They need tomorrow. I say a 30-point game from Jalen Johnson. That's what if I'm Jalen Johnson, that's what I'm aiming for because he's a guy who can put up 30 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. I'm not saying he has to drop a triple double next game, but we need a 30-point 8-8 game next game to say, hey, I'm the guy of this team. I can take over.
Yeah, because then
I,
if you add 15 to 20 from McCollum, then you're talking about maybe beating the Knicks in Game 5, and that would be the recipe more so than McCollum. You got to be our guy. You got to score every important basket, and we'll have Jalen Johnson show up when he, in spurts or when he wants to. No, it's the opposite.
I think Jalen Brunson's barbecue chicken, so I think McCollum has to be the dude to make Jalen Brunson like look like a defensive liability. Because the less time you have Jalen Brunson on the court, the better. I
Yeah.
think the trend to look out for that almost always ends poorly is teams that when they win, they only win by a very slim margin, and when they lose by double digits. Game 1, Hawks lose by 11. Then games 2 and 3, they both win those games by 1 point. And then come game 4, they lose by 16, it looks like.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, it's one of those things when things aren't going the Hawks' way, the Knicks are swinging and they're keeping the lead. But if the Hawks climb back and take the lead, then they're just barely in it. Like, that's the
Yeah,
biggest problem. The Knicks could put the gas pedal
yeah.
on them. The Hawks, not so much. To
Good
only
point.
keep up is when they could do it.
Yeah, good point there.
The
I
Knicks
totally agree.
The Knicks, and this is what I've been saying to everybody, the Knicks might be the streakiest team I've ever watched. They're gonna during the game, 3 to 4 times during the game, they're gonna go on a like 8-0, 10-0 run. No matter what you're doing, no matter how good you're playing, on the road and at home, no matter what, 2, 3, 4 times a game, they're gonna go on a good 8-0, 10-0 run where for some reason they can't miss. They do it every game. The goal is you have to just kind of get through it. If you're the main thing you want to do is stay ahead a good 8 to 10 points. So when that happens, it's still tied.
Yeah,
Even say they start off hot, you start the game off they go on a 10-0 run. You just kind of have to get through it and know, hey, it's gonna calm down at some point. We just got to get through it. The hard part is not only is it gonna happen, it's when they're at home. Because when they get to do it at home, then the entire crowd's with them. It feels like those 10 points they just put up feels like they just put up 20 points on you. You just have
Yeah.
to be like, okay, hey, it's just a run. We have to get through it. And the Hawks have been able to do that. But it's again having to do that all series. It's hard because you're like, man, we've been playing great all game, and all of a sudden, oh, they put up 12 points. Like we just don't exist. What just happened?
Yeah, exactly. You need to silence MSG, and that's not easy to do.
No.
And the Knicks are known for they get a turnover. Oh, look, we're going the other way. We're getting bucket. All right, now you come by, boom, there's another. You chuck one up. Now it's going back the other way. The Knicks get another easy bucket, and they're just so quick on just like they just play such sound ball that if the Hawks panic and they just start playing ugly, that's exactly the type of ball the Knicks like to see to push tempo, to push pace, and then again, God forbid you get Brunson on a transition pull up three and he knocks it down. The lid of MSG is coming
Mm-hmm.
off,
yeah.
and then now you're staring down the barrel of like, oh man, this could be bad.
And
And
it's always the
speaking of physical, tough basketball, Franz Wagner just hit a three for Orlando to take a 2 point lead in the halftime to take a 3-1 series lead over Detroit. Who's this is and everybody wrote. My brother even wrote Orlando off 8 seed first. It would be the first 8 seed if they went to the conference finals since the Heat in 2000. They're a different 8 seed, but what they're doing to stick with Detroit is play that type of physical basketball. Have y'all been peeping this series?
this Magic
Yeah,
team. I've seen off and on games. Obviously I watched the game against the Hornets where they just walked over the Hornets. That was embarrassing. But this Magic team, I think this is what's going on. 2 years ago, this was a team we were all saying this team could be good. We're looking for this team. they haven't been healthy since that 2 years ago mark.
Mhm.
Like they've always had injuries. Paulo's been injured. Franz has been injured. Suggs has been injured. They just got Anthony Black, and they just got Desmond Bain. This team is finally everybody's healthy, and they're playing like that team 2 years ago we were all worried about. And I just one of those. I don't think anybody was thinking about that because they've been a struggle team all this time. They almost didn't make it here, but they just happen to get healthy right now. Now they can play the basketball they've been wanting to play for the past 2 years.
Yeah, and
I
all.
mean, I
Go ahead.
think for me, I was writing off the Magic pretty early on in this. I wasn't expecting them to really give the Pistons that much of a struggle, but I think this is the perfect matchup for the Magic because the Pistons aren't a good shooting team.
They're
And
not.
I think that was something that I definitely overlooked because especially in this playoff series right now, the Pistons are shooting 30 from the left corner, 26% from the right corner three, and then from the elbow to the top of the key, they're shooting 30% from three. Like if you're like the recipe for the Magic is to bury them with threes, bury them with good shooting. And then another thing too is that Jalen Duren. What is up with Jalen Duren? This is supposed to be one of his series that the Magic don't have a true big that,
Hey, Wendell
Jalen
Carter,
Duren
man.
is looking great.
Man,
I mean, he's making Wendell Carter look good, that's for sure, because Durant has not showed up when needed.
he's been awful. And you know what? What Detroit's been able to do is, and I'm getting my phone in the charger. Um, but what Detroit's been able to do is play so physical with Cade Cunningham. If you look at those turnover numbers, hold on, guys. Sorry.
Granted, let's look at it.
All right.
Cade is at 6 turnovers at halftime this game.
Yeah.
He's 6
The
turnovers
game,
per game on the
playing
series.
these
6 on the
games
series.
so start and putting Detroit in these deficits, and Detroit's having to climb back, and they get in the games. But man, I gotta give it to Orlando. There was so much talk about Jamal Mosley, and we even got on the show and talked about Paulo Banchero. Is he enough? Was he the guy? Can he do it? And just a lot of talk around Orlando, and
Hmm.
4 games into this, or 3.5 games now. I mean, they're 24 minutes away from almost putting the 1 seed out, right? So we got to start talking, about Paulo Banchero, maybe turning the corner here. It's been a fun
Well,
series, though. It's one of those series like that. Grown up, see, I was born in the '90s, so like those '90s playoff series. This Pistons Orlando series is like one of those series. Jalen Suggs, those guys diving after every floor, the tussles, all of this. It's just great basketball, and you also see low scoring games out of this series too.
and I think the biggest kryptonite with the Pistons is the fact that it's the Cade Cunningham show. Like he's averaging 30 points per game. When you look at dudes outside of him, Tobias Harris is giving you 18, Osar Thompson is giving you 12. No one else is giving you 10 per.
And
Going
that's
back to
where it's
Jalen
really like
Dur-
you need Jalen Duren, man. You need him because he's supposed
and
to be
he's
putting up
averaging
15.
9 points. He's averaging He's giving you 8 boards at least, so that's not like
I mean,
terrible. But like
I
he's barely taking shots. Like he's
I want to
not
ask you,
floating in the paint.
do you think they could even turn it around at this point? Like, do you see Detroit being able to turn the things
I
that
mean,
were?
they have a chance this game still. It's still
I mean,
only
Yeah,
a
I'm not
2 point game
writing
at half.
them off. And again, it's only a 2-1 series. If the Pistons equalizes at 2-2, or it's a whole different series then. So I wouldn't quite write them off quite yet. I still think Cade Cunningham is the true number one best guy on this in this series. But as far as a team, like Banchero's been looking great. Jalen Suggs and Desmond Bain, I had question marks about them. They're both putting up
Wagner's
proper
looking
fine
good now. He's
supportive
back.
roles. Franz Wagner's
Hmm.
looking good. Like they're looking like a unit. And again, this Pistons team, they need to find their shooters. Duncan
yeah,
Robinson has not been showing up, and he's supposed to be the shooter.
yep,
Like, and he hasn't shown up either. So that's why, it does look like the Magic can make a chance, but I don't know. I'm still not giving up on the Pistons yet.
yeah.
So we
This just a great series.
so we went 2 games with the East, so we might as well stick with the East. We talked about the Magic series. We talked about the Hawks series. Let's get to your series, Dylan. Talk about the Celtics. You know what? They're up 2-1, 3-1 at this point. It's
It
looked
is officially a 3-1
it's
series.
looked pretty easy. Obviously, they lost game 2, but They don't like winning game twos anyway, so that's
No, they
kind of
don't.
like it's kind of like already written in the game plan. We just win game one, don't worry about game two. The 76ers get Joel Embiid back, and y'all still spank them either way. They even make a difference.
Oh.
So, like,
Well, I mean, let's start with the game two because game two and even game three, like game two with the Celtics, I was definitely worried about because they do the same bullshit at least once a game every series
Yeah.
where they get behind, they just get comfortable with jacking threes, and they just hope they shoot themselves out of a slump. And
Mhm.
then they just shoot themselves too far in the hole, and now it's GG's. And then game three, you had Maxi turning up a notch. You had VG Edgecombe turning up a notch. And it was looking stressful. And, it came down to the end, and Tam and Brown handled their business because, they continued to show why they're the best two guys in this series day in and day out. Both putting up 25 points in that game to win 108-100. And then I saw Embiid come out in the court in game four, and I'm like, I mean, this is not ideal. I mean, I just assumed he was done for in this series, so it
mm-hmm.
was a screwball to even see him out on the court in the first place. But boy, was I happy come actually watching him play out there because, I mean, talk about someone that was putting a square peg in a round hole. He was out there. So the first quarter was like the Celtics got ahead, fine. Come the second quarter, Embiid realized that Maxi wasn't really taking his shots, establishing his dominance, and now there was Edgecombe. So Embiid's like, all right, I'm just gonna have the green light then. And I shit you not, he went like 4 straight possessions down the court, taking random mid-range shots, bricking them all, very minimal ball movement, and then the Celtics just went out ahead. And then let's not forget Peyton Pritchard dropping a 30 piece of his own. Funny enough, he was jawing at Reggie Miller the whole game, and people dug up that I don't know if this happened earlier in this year or was it last year, but Reggie Miller and Caitlin Clark were in the same shoot on ESPN, and Reggie Miller went to go comment Caitlin Clark and said that she reminds him of Peyton Pritchard.
I remember that. This was early
So
this year. That was early this year.
So someone like Peyton Pritchard who loves to
Yep.
talk shit and does
Man,
not
bro.
take disrespect like that, like it was literally the second bucket went down. I saw him look at Reggie Miller like he wanted to murder him. Like, oh, it's over. Pritchard dropping 30. It only took him 3 quarters to drop 30. Like, it was over.
Here's the
So
thing:
fast.
where's the disrespect in that at all? That's where I ask. Because they're basically saying because Caitlin Clark is a shooter and Peyton Pritchard is a good shooter. Caitlin
Yeah,
Clark
but you could tell it had kind of a negative. It kind of had a kind of shot vibe. Because you talk about the best in the whole game. They've never talked about a woman in the WNBA like Caitlin Clark, and you compare it to the NBA and somebody who obviously Peyton Pritchard deserves his respect, but you know isn't on the star level comparison. Well, he was saying, "Don't talk about me like that. I showed you. I could do this. I could piece him up. I could piece him up. I could do this. I could do that. Yeah, and I'll do it for 35 in a game 4 of NBA playoffs. And it was cool to watch. Very cool to watch.
And I think it just comes down to his competitive nature because he will talk to anyone. Like he has a whole buzzer beater compilation of him
He sure
knocking down
does.
crazy shots, and he's just yelling at anyone. Like he's just yelling at everyone, yelling at fans, yelling at broadcasts. Like when he has that swagger about him, good luck. And then I remember for years he was like kind of a catch and shoot guy. Maybe he'll create his shot, but the way that his handles has developed this year,
Oh
like
Mhm.
yeah.
watch him go tweet, 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 and like dribble so fast, stop on a dime in the mid. Like, tell me how a 6'1" dude is so efficient in the mid range. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Like, you have dudes that tower over him, and he's still able to do little teardrops over them.
That white boy
Easy
in a
mid
man, that
range.
TJ McConnell. That's what we saw last year, right? It's so
Duncan
weird.
Robinson would dream to have the cojones that Payne Pritchard
Man,
has. Duncan
see, like,
Robinson's 6'7", and it cannot even be a mid range dude like Pritchard
mm,
is.
it is
Telling you, bro,
beautiful. It is beautiful to watch, and
it's
he's
some
so like,
it's some little point guards, bro. Obviously, TJ McConnell has nowhere near the 3-point shot Peyton Pritchard does. Peyton Pritchard can shoot. But TJ
Oh, he's a
McConnell has that
sniper. He'll
crazy.
snipe it.
and
TJ
realistically,
McConnell has that
like,
crazy mid range. That's what he has for some reason. He can't miss in the mid range either. Something about it, man.
and it's crazy to talk about this, but in the NBA playoffs, we know the two most important things are momentum and health. And the Celtics are actually getting healthy at the right time with all the momentum. The Magic have been injured as well. We just talked about them after a series of season of thinking that these are two of the more less fortunate teams. We're looking at them. Hey, they're hot. They're healthy. What can they do? What's the
And
ceiling?
how about
I,
good, good.
I, Sorry, I mean, I think the Celtics, they're looking unstoppable. I don't think there is a ceiling on this team, quite frankly, especially with how young they are. And they were bringing out dudes like Luka Garza and Bailey Sharman for some
Dude,
important
Not
minutes.
the
And
ultimate disrespect, bro.
they're so deep.
and Missoula was flexing. And Missoula was flexing because the Sixers, any groove they had in the first 3 games is completely gone in this game 4. Like, Embiid was a total monkey wrench where Paul George couldn't get going. Maxey took a while to get going. Embiid had to get to the second half when it was too late for him to get going. Like, I mean, I get Embiid wants to be a gamer and he loves playing when he's hurt. Like, no one loves playing more while he's hurt than Embiid is, for better or for worse. Like, he had like a flak jacket on underneath his jersey because he was too afraid to get hit where he was freshly healed, and he's not even fully healed. He's ahead of timeline. So I think the Sixers, they're just kind of a clown show, in all honesty. So that definitely helps the Celtics. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, the real problem is going to be the next round. I'm more worried about next round, whether it's the Hawks or the Knicks.
yeah, but as deep as the Celtics are, like to see Kata pick up 2 quick fouls almost every game and it not even be a blimp in what they're doing, that just goes to show like they're a well-oiled machine at this point. They plug and play because of the system that they do it, and Joe Mazzulla's running it. It's man, I hate to say it. I hate to say it. It is a beautiful brand of basketball. It really is. Um, Tatum, and I didn't think he'd be healthy this early. I didn't think he'd be contributing at this level in the playoffs. I don't think any of us did, but some people like to cap. But I know I definitely didn't think that he was going to be in the playoffs. That dagger three is impressive. We didn't have him doing that. We didn't have him doing that as a Celtics team looking to maybe go into the finals. Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, again, hey, it's supposed to be a down year, man. It's supposed to be the down year for the Celtics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, and I think when I was watching the game, the announcers were all they're talking about is the surgery, like the revolutionary surgery that these players are going through now, where it's like the moment Tatum found out about this ruptured Achilles, they're like, hey, the sooner you get surgery, the quicker you go into rehab. And all credit to Tatum, he was all about getting rehabbed. And he was very, like, you saw many videos of him going through his workouts, and that's all
Yeah.
part of it. Like,
Hmm.
he's very serious about basketball. He makes that his life goal to be the best, and he's showing that he deserves to be in that conversation. People don't want to admit it. People love to clown him, but how can you look at him and how he's playing and just say that he's nothing less than top 5? Like, I get
Yeah.
people don't want to give him like MVP conversations, and on a given year, especially when Jalen Brown is doing what he's doing, it's almost impossible to distinguish the two, and that's why they both get screwed in MVP
Yeah.
conversations. But I mean, look at the talent, man. Look at what he does. It's just name me 4 better players that can do what he can do as well as he does.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue just to think about, and he's not a slouch on defense either. But I mean, would you also put Jalen Brown in the top 5? Because do you see what Jalen Brown does for this team? It's like, man, and it's still it'll always be that conversation. But let's not like let one success like have an effect on the other success. Let's celebrate them for each what they are, because they are both are just man. They're could be 2 top 5 players in the NBA.
Yeah, and I mean, like, look, I understand how. Sorry, Natalia, not to interrupt you, but I love when people call Tim corny because it's like, man, God forbid a dude that's like a good father and like
Listen, no,
isn't
I'm
like
not
trying to be
even.
the coolest guy in the crowd. But I mean, again,
What?
like
You think
if
that's what
there's
he said?
No, no, but because again, people will talk about Anthony Edwards like he's the second coming of Jesus, but then you could bring up how
He's not
the
even around his.
screenshots and send the video about getting an abortion or like not even being around his kid that he already has,
That's a
and
different
like
level, corny. That's a different level, corny. I think.
and and he says it's on the court. I mean, if you talk
It's
about putting nuts on your face or dribbling in a step back three through your eyes and calling that corny, sure,
Hey,
dude. If
shout
you're
out
just
to
talking
it's
about a dude that could drop a triple double and play
shout out
defense for you, yeah, I'm
shout
like,
out to
fair
whoever
enough, that's corny.
commented. You didn't know that if you say anything about the Celtics play, you're gonna get Dylan fired up, and
listen.
Oh
he's gonna
yeah,
get on one. Because
Hey, I
hey,
know this
I'm
guy.
not a.
He's
I
he's
love it.
he's my friend. He's a Bucks fan. So this is a Giannis guy.
no,
Yeah,
I will say shout out, man, shout out, brother. But
no, I love
now
the
it's not the time to
comments.
talk about the Celtics. This team, it's not the time because they are hot, and this team is like, man, every time you think something, something's going to happen to this team, they resolve. Do you think right now, through 4 games in the playoffs, watching Cleveland and Toronto and some of these other series, Boston looks the best?
They're the best
Boston
in the
looks the
East
best in the
by
East.
far.
They really do.
I And I mean, yeah, and it's again, look, I'm coming from a side that's most commonly hated. So respect to M Hayes for talking the comments. I love when people talk because it brings more conversation to the point rather than just us three talking to each other. I think yeah, I mean, all in all, it's like when the Celtics shoot like shit or when Tatum is complaining, yes, I'll definitely admit when Tatum is complaining to the refs, I wanna fucking break my TV because it's like, yeah, and then now they're not gonna call fouls on you more because you're constantly complaining. Like, I hate nothing more than when people politic to the refs. Like that shit pisses me off. So yeah, if you
Everybody
want to
does it
call
though.
them, but yeah, I mean again, everybody does that. So it is what it is. I think it comes down to the Knicks are a team that scares me
Hmm.
because when they are playing, they play like they have they have the script on their side. Like I've seen OG Anunoby, just if he's standing in the corner, you better have a dude on him because he's knocking it down, dead eye. Jalen Brunson, he makes some of the most insane clutch shots. Josh Hart, he'll play the most putrid 30 minutes you'll ever see in your life. But then those last 5 minutes he plays, man, it's like, where was he? Where did he come from? He could have been, but like he just comes out just making crazy turnovers and things happen. Like those are the teams, like the teams that are very high defense are the teams that I'm most worried about with the Celtics. So the Knicks are definitely a team I'm afraid of. And that's about it. Like, I'm not afraid of this Pistons team, considering how the Magic are handling them. Like, Cavaliers and Raptors are two teams I couldn't care less about.
and then Matt
So, yeah.
Hey,
and
talk about the Cavaliers and Raptors because that's the only East team we haven't got to yet, and we got to get to them since we haven't even talked about any West teams yet. But granted, good luck for with the shout out to the Raptors. I'll say this: they went down 0-2 quickly,
mhm.
went back home, dominated their first game at home on a 43-point fourth quarter in their first game home to win a 126-104 game. And then game two, they win a close, low-scoring game, a 93-89 game to make it tied going back to Cleveland. Granted, these two teams, I don't see either one of these teams doing a little bit of anything. I don't even know if either one of these teams even win 2 games the next series they go into. But what team do you think at least pulls out in this series at this point?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I would dismiss Cleveland that much. I mean, so this is the thing. Yes, yeah, I do think watching now, there's reason to be concerned in Cleveland, but they still they still right there in the series. They lost 2 games to Toronto. Didn't want to see them lose those 2 games. And they did it in not a good way. But I wouldn't sleep out Cleveland quite yet. But I think more about how Toronto played in that game, how they responded to going down 0-2. And so there was a 1 possession game under 30 seconds to go. And Donovan Mitchell was bringing the ball up the court. There was about 1.5 seconds left on the 8 second. She comes in, makes a play, steals it, seals the game. Is that type of defensive play. You don't get a shot off down 2 with 10 seconds left in the game. That part for Cleveland has got to be addressed. How you can't get a shot off, man, at least a chance. But
Yeah.
that play for Toronto, it's just one of those series that's not the sexiest. It's probably the least out of all of them. But I love to see a dogfight, and that's exactly what you're getting. All these East series are just, man, boom, boom. You love seeing it. You love
But good
seeing the
matchups. Both
48
great
minute
matchups.
fights. As
I
we see Paulo Bonchero give the Magic a 3-point lead here in the third quarter.
I think you look at Evan Mobley and you look at Jalen Duran, it's like looking at the same goddamn mirror as far as like looking at them. Well, in fact, I'm more mad at Mobley for not being as good as he is compared to Duran being in his respective series because Mobley is a depoy player. Mobley is supposed to be the creme de la creme
Yeah,
of centers. I mean, he's not the top tippy top, but like I would give him like borderline elite, top of the second tier. And you're telling me you're going out against Jakob Poeltl and you're just disappearing? That
right.
you're taking threes, you can't even make them. And I know you're not known for taking threes, but you gotta take a hit. If you're missing them, you gotta just
With
let them
Jarrett
go.
Allen in your front court.
Yeah, you get
And
a second
then,
big man and they're not doing anything.
well, I mean, you can argue if Mobley was hitting your threes, and actually they would look so smart because Jared Allen is your traditional big as far
Hmm.
as clogging up that paint, and then Mobley can be more of that stretch forward that he's supposed to be. But then Mitchell is chucking bricks, James
Oh
Harden
man,
chucking bricks as they do, and I mean, like, it's one of those things when you see Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram and RJ Barrett all putting up games you just come to question where it's like, do the star names, like if you just look at the star names and take away everything else, I would think that Cleveland should have handily taken care of this Raptors team. But just seeing how the Cavaliers just getting out physical, how the Raptors just seem like they wanted more and they seem like they gel a lot better than what Cleveland's doing. It's one of those things. I think it's totally possible that the Raptors take it. No
Yeah,
doubt.
that's what he's saying. He thinks the Raptors are going to take it. All I gotta say is, you don't want to let Cleveland get to Game 7 because James Harden will not be there if you're Cleveland. The last thing you
you know
want is a
what,
Game
man?
7 James Harden.
I'm sitting here thinking, why did I put my hope into? And now I didn't do it because of James Harden, but I was high on Cleveland because of Donovan Mitchell. If Donovan Mitchell can't answer the ball here
Ugh.
with this team, I don't want to hear anything
Remember,
else about Donovan Mitchell.
this is an injured James Harden, though. So, like, he
So
doesn't
yeah,
got full James Harden.
but
He's
it's
still productive though. I
yeah.
don't know if
We know about Harden at this point. I feel like, but now if Mitchell has this opportunity, you can't do it, man. Deuces, bro. I don't want to hear about
well,
him.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like Donovan Mitchell is also like I would put him in that same thing with James Harden where they're both spectacularly skilled players. On a Wednesday night in January, Donovan Mitchell will give you buckets and he'll be one of the most fun dudes to watch. But hey, man, he doesn't play winning ball, and neither does James Harden. So they look very similar in that aspect. And James
It's
Harden
like
is doing the dimes what that we wanted, that we kind of expected from James Harden,
Hmm.
but then they just don't have enough. No matter who they have, it still doesn't seem like it's enough. And that's when you have to look at Mitchell and you have to look at Harden and be like, you guys have to be the problem. You guys have to be the issue.
when it matters most, they collapse every single time. And
Yeah.
I thought, I looked at this roster. I looked at the move they made. I saw how they were playing. I'm like, okay, I like this Cleveland team. And like I said to Paris, it's not over with. Still 2-2. Only one of the series, a couple of series are really over if you think about it. But man, it's just there's just so much going on in the NBA playoffs. I'm excited. I wish my Mavs were in it. It's kind of sad that our Mavs Pacers aren't in it. We're having to sit here and talk about Dylan's Boston
Hey.
Celtics.
Everybody loves the Celtics.
Hey,
What are
but
we
you know
talking
what? Uh,
about?
as far as the pull the chair pod, we're actually rooting for you. We're rooting for
For
you, Dylan.
me.
I'd
For
much
me.
rather root for the Celtics than somebody like the Lakers. That's all I gotta say.
I
Fuck
would
the
like to
Lakers.
see another Celtics Knicks series. And speaking of the Lakers, I want to hear what y'all got to think about. Man,
We'll, we'll, we'll we'll get there because we gotta get to the West. No, we just summed up all the East. Gotta get to this injury-filled West because nobody
uh,
can stay healthy on the West side apparently. I think let's get to the first series. I don't think we have to. There's too much to say about this. Thunder Suns belt to ass every game.
yes,
Yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
gamers.
I'm really
Audience,
starting to
especially, of
wonder.
course.
Yeah,
There's, is there anything to even say? Do you guys have anything to say about that series at all? Any opinions?
I have one thing to say. Do the Thunder even need Jalen Williams to win the title? Like, do they even need him at
Yes,
this point?
yes. When it gets farther,
They,
yes.
Like, at what
I,
point? Because I mean, this team is just. I mean, it is
When
unbelievable what they are able to do with no
once you
matter who
get to
is
like a Nuggets, Timberwolves, Spurs, yes, they do.
Nuggets.
hey man, he
The
played
Nuggets,
2 games and averaged 20 in both those games.
No,
I mean,
no, no, no.
we'll see
Okay,
about the
okay.
Nuggets. But
It's a legit question because I mean, it's like, it's gonna be interesting to see.
and they get a top 10 pick next year. So they just, hey, who cares if even if Jalen Williams is not there, just get another guy. They got Jared McCain in the trade. Like, who don't they have? But
But
again,
yeah,
good
they're the
team. Who can
second
I say?
night of the doubleheader tonight. I anticipate they'll close that one out, go 4-0, and then they have the winner of the LA Lakers series and Houston, and then we'll start talking maybe. That's also another series hobbled by injuries, but is this more about Houston or is it more about LA? Because we got on here before and we actually talked about this. I said I was like, man, I don't. I think that the Lakers would beat the Rockets, and this is exactly why. Is because you invest so much of your offense and everything into KD as your focal point in the offense, and then you don't have it because you're relying on how old he is. He plays so much games. He's been healthy all season, and then he gets injured in the playoffs. You already are down Fran Van Vliet. So I think this is like for Houston. I think it's more about injuries. I'd like to see something more out of the squad that they had, but I think we should see OKC easily take out LA Lakers in round two.
Real quick before you even talk about this, this dude has been. I haven't heard the end of this guy talk about Devin Booker and the rest, bro. This dude hates Devin Booker. Look at
He
him right now. This guy
I
hates
mean,
Devin
like,
Booker.
he don't like
look,
Devin Book.
No, he hates
I,
Devin Booker. Oh my
well,
god.
Hey, I'm with you,
look,
bro.
yeah, I was gonna
F dig
say,
book, FD book.
Okay. All right.
whoa, time
No, I'm
out.
just kidding. I'm
All right.
playing, bro.
Look, I think that Devin Booker is overrated. Yes. I mean, you could look at how Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green are both outscoring Devin Booker this series. That alone has all the indictment. Wrap it all up. That's it. Because this is supposed to be Devin Booker's team. It's been Devin Booker's team since the get go. I'll give him the grace where the Suns have done nothing but just blow up the team around him, and he kind of just looks like a soldier with a 1,000-yard stare because he's the only dude. He's the only rock that stood still while the rest of the earth just blows up around him. Um, but at the same time, like, I don't think he has that mentality in him to really be a true leader. And I mean, if you're looking at Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green to be your leaders here, and Devin Booker is gonna kind of just be your bucket getter on the side, like it's just not. It may be done with him. I mean, granted, the Thunder are such an engine where it's not a fair
I wish.
litmus test. But again, this is Booker's been on the Suns for long enough that like we know what we're gonna get out of him, and now he doesn't have any more of a ceiling. He's kind of tapped out.
Hey, M. Hayes, if you have that picture of Booker flopping out of bounds and crying, please show that picture on the chat because that's all I see every time I see Devin Booker. And man, being a Mavs fan, seeing Luka Doncic go up against Devin Booker, I don't hate
Oh
anybody else more than
god.
I hate Devin Booker.
Oh
So I'm with you,
god.
I,
brother.
Let's say
I,
he's a Bucks fan, and so he got to beat Devin Booker in the finals and got Giannis Duncan on him and everything. So,
Yeah, we got him too, bro. We got him too.
golly, it's a not even a D Book hate fest in here. It's a D Book beating fest. Everybody need him beat Devin Booker.
Hey, nice shoes, great loyalty, but it,
I,
it,
I
This separates the boys from the men here, Book.
He's not a true one, so
You
it's just
need, you
kind of
know, what
tough
team
when you
that
build
needs
your
this
team
Devin
around
Booker
him.
is this Pistons team. This Pistons team needs a Devin Booker on their team.
Good point.
That's what
Yeah,
they
he's a
need.
way better Tobias Harris, that's for sure.
Yeah,
If I give Devin Booker one thing, he's probably the best Tobias Harris.
I mean,
Tobias Harris is wild.
Pist-
Wow.
Pistons down 6 are in trouble here. 5:40
Hey,
left in the third.
still close, man. Still close. But since you brought it up, let's talk about the Rockets. For me, this has been the most disappointing series I've had because for this entire time, I was saying I think the Rockets should be able to beat the Lakers. Once the Lakers got healthy and there was that Luca Austin Reeves, that's when I was like, okay, the Rockets probably ain't beating Luca, Austin Reeves, LeBron, Lakers. They probably not. But then once you took Luca and Austin Reeves out the equation, I felt like the Rockets should be up 3-1 against them. Like the Rockets have everybody.
Yeah.
The Lakers have LeBron. But no. Luke Kennard comes out and can't miss. LeBron does this thing.
Marcus
Everybody
Marcus
Smart.
Marcus
Smart,
Smart
Marcus
has a
Smart has been
crazy
playing
game.
enough.
And
Bronny
it's just
James.
it's
Bronny has
been
been
so
showing up.
disappointing. It's been a lot of things. Kevin Durant can't stay healthy, which again, we even mentioned this going into the playoffs with him playing almost all 82 games all season. The odds that he gets hurt going into the playoffs is very high.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It happened.
I
Um,
think the biggest thing I can't emphasize how important of having identity is for a team because the Rockets are having the purest identity crisis that you possibly could have. Because again, they put all of their eggs in this Kevin Durant basket. They think they're one Kevin Durant away from winning, and then it's like, oh, now we're heavily leaning on him. Sengun has played well, but like he's supposed to be your best guy when Kevin Durant's on the court. I mean, and he still leaves some stuff out there yet to be desired.
the goon's a
Amen
bum.
Thompson is not a good shooter, so like he's a solid guard. He'll go to the rack and give you 20, but he's not one to space the floor, and they don't really have any of the real floor spaces out there. So when Luke Kennard is sniping you, when Marcus Smart is putting up crazy 3-point friggin' shooting nights and stealing at a high clip, it's crazy how friggin' the Lakers are just locking them down the way they are. Because this Rockets team looks lost.
Yeah, and I think
Sengun
when
is
you have
such a
so many
disappointment.
injuries, it comes down to coaching. And I think JJ Redick, I can't believe I'm saying this, is out coaching Ime Udoka by a
Yeah,
mile.
yeah.
Well, he's got the schemes right. He's got the timings. He's got the motions right. He's got everything right. Ime, when it comes to the playoffs, it's next man up. You don't have your guys. It's what with coaching is what can you get out of your players? What's the best you could get out of the group you got? And JJ Redick's getting more out of those guys than a 41-year-old LeBron and Ime is getting out of those young guys. So
Yeah.
interesting to see.
And I look as someone that has had to deal with Ime Udoka through the highs of going to the finals to the lows of him committing adultery and getting fired. Um, Ime Udoka is one of those guys that is very smart, has strong ball knowledge where he can coach a team. But as far as like a player's coach, he's the last person you consider to be a player's coach. He's I remember he was calling everybody on the Celtics assholes because like especially if they were playing in a rut and shooting, like he was just calling them assholes and practically verbally abusing them. So like if you
Yeah.
don't have hard headed dudes out there that are willing to take that harsh criticism and be on fire trying to run through a hole in the wall, Udoka's coaching doesn't work. And again, there's nothing that Udoka is going to say that's going to get through to Kevin Durant. And he's supposed to be the guy that runs this team. So again, it starts at the head. And I think we could see a Rockets team with no Udoka and no Kevin Durant next year. I don't think it's
I
completely out of
Wow.
the realm of,
I
of
don't think they get.
possibility that both
I
could
don't
be
think they really
gone.
coach yet because he just got there. He only just got there, so you don't fire somebody
I
that.
think he'll be able to ride the injury excuse one more year because of Fred VanVleet.
They
Because you
need a
don't have a
point guard.
point guard, you got
Bad.
to have a point guard, and then KD, you can't really do anything about him going down. But is he on the hot seat next year? Absolutely. And I mean, he's not crazy for thinking they could blow it up. They damn well could blow it up because of how much they invested in KD. Yeah.
Funny enough, he does mention I've been every time I look over, I'm watching this Pistons game. I'm just watching this ball fly around the court right now. It's just in nobody's hands. So
It really,
he's
yeah, I'm watching it
he's
too. It's like,
he's
gosh
not
damn it.
lying. But yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you get rid of Adoka yet. They definitely need a point guard. They need somebody to distribute the ball. However, KD, I think KD going as much as I talk about, the Pistons need a Devin Booker, the Pistons could use a Kevin Durant. I'm not gonna lie. Because
A
they
lot of
have a
teams use
case
the
for
Kevin Durant, but when Durant is in the folds, we know how this story ends.
That's true, but
Everybody
you go to
loves
a
the idea of
Pistons,
Kevin Durant until he's
you,
on their team.
you go to the Pistons, it doesn't become, hey, we have to rely on Kevin Durant to score. We got Kate Cunningham. But if you have Kevin Durant, you have to make sure you have a number one guy before Kevin Durant. You have to. Because this is where the Rockets are falling apart right now. They put, oh, we have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's about to be our number one guy. Kevin Durant has never wanted to be the number one guy. Never. He never wants to be. He can do it, but he never wants to be the number one guy. So he has to go to a team where somebody will be the number one guy. And again, the Pistons got it. Cade's fine being number one. The Pistons still can't score right now, but Cade's fine being number one.
I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know if it's the Pistons knocking out my TV or this Texas storm, but I'm starting to catch some slack here towards the end of the 9 o'clock hour. What's going on here in Detroit?
I'm
What
a
is
brick
this?
fan. Didn't.
yeah,
Is this who is this? What is
the
going
bricks.
on?
So
Man,
many
because
bricks
I'm
that are
not gonna
knocking out
lie,
your power.
I had a little bet on Detroit because I didn't think that they'd go down 3-1, so I bet them
You still got
money
hope.
line straight up
You
to win.
still got hope. But
I
let's get to the last two
And
games.
Isaiah Stewart is looking more like he should try out for WWE than he needs to be in a game 4 of a
Should have been
playoffs.
done
Because
that.
good
Should
God,
have been done that. Come on now. That dude just wants to
yeah.
fight people. But the last two series in the West, one funny enough, they're both 3-1, but I feel like there's one series that you can talk way more about the other. But the Spurs and Trailblazers, I feel like the series really was over once it started. You knew the Spurs were gonna win the series. The Trailblazers got to get their one. Wembanyama knocks himself the fuck out mid game. Like that dude was gone. Hey, he was gone. But they were still able to pull a game out without a Wembanyama. They get Wembanyama back. Now he is healthy. He had a concussion, but he is back. They're up 3-1. I mean, again, we talked about, OKC put belt to ass. At least the Trailblazers are like showing effort. I give them that.
I mean, that's the power of Wemby, where it's like the only chance the Trailblazers have is when Wemby's not on the court. Like, obviously, concussion game is a game that they won. And even this past game, game 4, the first half, I actually was watching. The Trailblazers were showing life. They were getting in Wemby's face. And they were doing an interesting, like, rotation of defense on Wemby, where, like, some possessions it was Kamara, other possessions it was Drew Holiday. And it was working. But then halftime happened. I think Wemby probably had some choice words of just like, hey, just give me the ball. I'm going to friggin' take us to the promised land. And that's what he did. I mean, he was, again, just unstoppable scoring, unstoppable on the boards, amazing hand, like all the normal stuff. But 7 blocks and 4 steals on top of all of everything that Wemby
Unbelievable, yeah.
does. 11 stocks. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's like the Trailblazers. I mean, good job. You get the medal for showing up, but you don't
Yeah.
have the answer for
Hey,
Wemby. Plain and
doing
simple.
doing more than Phoenix is. I give them that. They at least they put up a fight. Denny
Yeah.
Avdija, hey, give more props to him than Devin Booker. What you can
Yeah.
do.
And Drew Holiday shows why he's been in the league as long as he has been. He's a scorer. He plays amazing defense. All the props to Drew Holiday for being that guy. But, like, I mean, this Trailblazers was never a team that was built to compete. And, I mean, Wemby alone could take on 5 guys. So, like, I mean, like, let's be honest here. Like, seeing how the Spurs are playing without Wemby was very concerning. And then, and it's like, oh, we got Wemby back. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. So as long as they have Wemby, the Spurs will be fine. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I think we've seen that. But to go to the last series, we mentioned the injuries with Wemby, but Wemby's back. But golly, the Timberwolves. They lose first game of the series. Win the next two. Go to game 4. and lose Dante at the very beginning of the game. Then you lose Ant, what, in the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter?
It was
And
still
there's
the first half, yeah.
and Sumo comes out and drops 43 and puts you up 3-1 against the Nuggets.
Yeah. I
But
mean, like,
now
talk.
you go next game though. Is it gonna be an issue at this point though? Like,
Yeah, it definitely will be because, like, Dante was a blow within itself. I mean, Dante's not really a person that brings the fear into people's eyes like Anthony Edwards does. And losing him to what is being described as a multiple week injury is the worst news you could possibly get. And like, luckily, it wasn't a re-injury of the same leg that I was bothering. It was his other leg. So who's to say? Maybe he'll come back sooner than he probably should be. But I mean, Rudy Gobert has to friggin' hold the fort because as far as like locking down Jokic, like I know you were a big proprietor of Jokic being the MVP, and he still puts up numbers, but he doesn't have that MVP spirit, man. Like, I mean, I don't know. You gotta defend your man here because he's
I
not
can't.
looking great.
Here's the thing, I can't because this is the reason I can't. I was glazing Nikola Jokic, and I absolutely shit on Rudy Gobert because I can't stand Rudy Gobert, and this man has locked the fuck up Jokic this series. It's been not even that. I watched that dude go down the court, steal the ball, then next time block Jokic, and then hit a hook shot on Jokic. That's not Rudy Gobert. Who the fuck am I watching? That's not Rudy Gobert out there. So I don't know what's gotten to Rudy Gobert. I guess when you see Jokic so many times, you say, okay, I've had enough of this. I gotta stop it because this is by far the best Rudy Gobert I have ever seen. And like I said, I don't think I've barely ever gave any props to Rudy Gobert. Granted, Rudy Gobert's won multiple Defensive Players of the Year, but even then, I was like, he's not that good. I was like, he's good in the paint. I give him that. From like the moment he gets brought out of the paint, he can't do anything. But he has a locked down Jokic. He has scored on Jokic. He has gotten rebounds. I'm like, I mean, if you were doing this entire time, I wouldn't be saying all the bad things about him.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like, I mean, like, look, I think what it comes down to is that it's another one of those series where it's like, even with Jokic, he's doing everything he can. He's still 25 points per game, 14 boards, 7 assists. Like,
He's dropping
like
triple
these
doubles.
aren't like, yeah, he's dropping triple doubles. Like, he's not playing awful by any means, but he has lapses on defense where sometimes he's just not putting the full effort that he should be. And, I think ultimately when you're down a series like this, like you need someone like Jokic doesn't seem like a dude that's gonna be bothered and that's gonna be like gonna put everything out there. He was more mad at Jane McDaniel shooting that layup at the end of the game
Oh
when it was
god,
all said and done than all the friggin' time in that game. Like, I don't know. Like
that's why he
Jokic.
lost me, man. Like, golly, y'all got blown out. Jaden McDaniels took that final shot, and now you're pissed. Hey, maybe you should score in the second half. Funny
Yeah.
enough, maybe you should score the basketball. Maybe you shouldn't go
It,
down 30 points to this team. I don't know.
and and Desumo did have a supernatural
He
game. I
did.
mean, missing 4 shots, not missing a single three. I mean, like, come on. Like, that's about as best of an opportunity that's gonna happen. And I think just by proxy being up 3-1, it's like, look, you just gotta win one game. Like that's
Yeah.
the whole thing with the Hawks for me, where it's like if you're up 3-1, especially if you know you're the underdog, you only need one win. And now the Timberwolves, despite their injury problems, they just need one bad game of Jokic and Murray again, and they're on to the next round, like it or not.
Rudy Gobert has held Jokic. Obviously, like I say, Jokic being held is still funny enough dropping triple doubles. It's crazy to say. But in the second half, this series, Rudy Gobert has held Jokic to 6 of 26 shooting in the second half of the series.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
that's bad.
yeah, it's again, this is the Rudy Gobert everybody talks about. Everybody was talking about how good of a defensive player Rudy Gobert is, multiple defensive player of the year. This is the Rudy Gobert everybody was talking about because this is the Rudy Gobert I have not seen, and it's here.
And He's a I mean, look, man. I mean, like, if we want to talk some real slander, Donovan Mitchell's best years was when he was pair Rudy Gobert. Like the furthest that Donovan Mitchell has gone in the playoffs is with those Jazz teams going into the third round,
Yeah,
and Gobert was in his prime. No one likes Gobert. No one wants to admit that he is one of the best defensive bigs of our time. And again, it's primarily because A, he's unlikable personality, and B, like watching him do anything offensively is like watching someone to hold a basketball for the first time ever and having no idea what to do with it. But like they could still do a little hook shot here and there, and
every
if
now and
you're
then.
5 feet away, So like I mean, I don't know. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me with this what the Timberwolves are doing, and now without Anthony Edwards, you're gonna have to pray Julius Randle steps up and be the vet that he's meant to be. You're gonna have to pray that Nas Reed shows up and Jaden McDaniels starts putting on heaters, because
Listen,
if you're
what
hoping
Jaden
Sumo's gonna drop 40 every night, it's over.
what Jaden McDaniels say, they can't guard them. They can't guard anybody. They got bad defenders. Everybody on the Denver is a bad defender. And since he said that, they basically proved him right because I mean he said that and they have not lost to him. Jaden McDaniels had a 20-point double double game 3. Decimo comes out and drops 40 points game 4. I mean like he
And you
said
have to
it.
play fearless. You have
Yeah,
to play fearless, especially because like you could go so easily into that rabbit hole, that mental hole of like, oh man, Jokic is one of the top 2 or 3 players in the whole NBA. He's someone that has his own gravity. Jamal Murray's fantastic shooter when he's on his game. Good luck, Aaron Gordon, this and the other thing. But all these guys, they can't play defense. So if you're just going to be a hyper offensive team and outscore them, you have a chance.
you do. You really do. And I think what I really comes down to is matchups. I think out of any team the Timberwolves want to face in the playoffs, I think the Timberwolves want the Nuggets. They faced them multiple times already. What this is what the fourth time they've seen them in the playoffs. And I think at this point the Timberwolves just like, hey, we know what the Nuggets are. We know how to beat them. They got us first game. Good job. We're just gonna handle business, and that's really what's really happened. Definitely once they went home, they made it look easy.
I have a buddy that's a Hawks fan, and he was seeing that Anthony Edwards was flirting with the Hawks team, and considering he's from Atlanta, like like there is kind of that internal clock in your mind where like, especially on a team like the Timberwolves, it kind of feels like now or never. So
Yeah,
if the Timberwolves are looking to keep Anthony Edwards for lifer, this is the type of series where like you have to prove you're good without him, or Anthony Edwards could very well just be like, well, you can't build a team around me. I'm gone. Because, I mean, Anthony Edwards has done plenty of carrying in his time.
mm-hmm.
They've gone all the way up to the third round with him. And, I mean, again, it's not Anthony Edwards has never been the problem. He's always been the dude that always shows out. So, I mean, look, the Timberwolves have tried. They have been trying. They've been doing some moves. They move Cat around. They're doing all they can to make Anthony Edwards work. So they need to at least move up around. Maybe we need another third rounder. Pray that Anthony Edwards gets healthy again. I don't think they can go to the third round without Anthony Edwards. But
No,
like,
because if they win this series, don't they have to face the Spurs next?
I think so. So yeah, the 4-5, right? They're the 4-5. So yeah, you have to play the
Yeah.
Spurs. So that's already wraps.
Ugh.
Like, granted, Gobert again, elite big. Maybe he could
They
pull a
need
rabbit out
Ant.
of the hat.
They would
I
need
know.
Ant in that
Well,
series.
that's the thing. They need him
Bad.
bad. So they better hope he friggin' comes back. And I mean, like, he's still halfway through his contract. Like, he's under contract through 2028, 2029, but in the modern day NBA, if a star says he wants to be gone, he will be gone. So, we'll see. We'll see with him. I mean, he's very only 24 years old. So like he's on his second big contract. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, there's still time to mend things with Anthony Edwards. But if I'm the Timberwolves, you need to have that little clock in the back of your head being like, we can't just let Anthony Edwards go. If we need a plan, whether it's again, making the best possible team around Anthony Edwards to at least win something with him, or realizing that we're too far gone. We've exhausted all we can, and maybe how can we move him if that ultimate time comes when he's like, all right, I'm out of here, guys. I'm done being here. So we'll see.
Well, that's going to wrap it up this week for the Pull the Chair podcast. Ending tonight, the Thunder and Suns have started. End of the first quarter, the Thunder are up 37-30. And at this point, I think the Magic are about to go up 3-1 on the Pistons, man. I do. They're up 75-69 ending the third quarter. They have kind of shut down the Pistons so far. The Pistons, man, they can't shoot. They can't. And Batadze just locked down Kate Cunningham.
Yep, and that's the
So,
recipe. That's the recipe.
so
So
at this point,
8 turnovers for Cade right now. Like that's the exact game that you don't want happening from your main guy, and no one else is stepping up. So
no,
yeah, it's not looking good for the Pistons.
it's not good when you could have a center guard your point guard and not have to worry about Jalen Duren, bruh. Where is Jalen Duren? Where's the data?
Well, okay, here's one last indicting stat that I think would be the perfect ribbon where we're talking about how cooked these Pistons are. Paolo Banchero is 2 for 13, 0 for 4 from 3 with 13 points, 9 of 10 from free throws. So without those free throws, he'd be on 4 points and has been
And they're
playing
still
awful.
winning.
And they're still winning. So yeah, they talk about nightmares. Jalen Suggs hasn't made a single shot all game. He has 0 points.
Right.
Talk about a nightmare scenario where if the Pistons lose this game, you just chalk it, man. You're not coming back 3-1. Maybe you could pull it to make it a 6-game series, but not. Hey, I mean, it's looking bad. It's looking real bad in Detroit right now.
It is. So at this rate, I think the Magic go up 3-1, and come next podcast, most likely we'll be in a lot of second rounds, seeing where teams are at. We'll get our predict. So stay tuned. So you'll get a prediction for second round playoffs for us. And I mean, it looks like we might have some lower seats moving on. So stay tuned for 9 o'clock on the Pull the Chair podcast on the Grid Network. Again, I'm Paris. We had Tyler back, so hopefully he'll be back again next week. The Pistons knocked out his network for how bad their shooting are. So got that going on. Obviously, you got Dylan here. So again, stay tuned Monday at 9 o'clock on the Grit Network for the Pull the Chair podcast.